Access your free language gifts right now before they expire. Here's what you're getting this month. First, can you talk about your feelings? You'll be able to with the brand new Feelings PDF conversation cheat sheet. You'll learn all the must-know emotions in your target language. Second, if you love to eat, then you'll love this. The brand new Food Words and Phrases PDF ebook. Learn to talk about food with this PDF. Download it for free right now. Third, the 50 most common nouns that all beginners should know. Do you know all of these nouns? If not, this lesson will teach you the 50 must-know nouns fast. Learn them effortlessly with the audio slideshow tool inside. Fourth, learn how to fill out forms in your target language. This 1-minute lesson teaches you all of the words you'll see on administrative forms. Fifth, want the best language learning app? Download Innovative Language 101 for free for the Android, iPhone, and iPad. You'll learn language fast and start speaking in minutes because the audio and video lessons are just 3 to 15 minutes long. And finally, the deal of the month. If you want to learn the language in 6 months with lessons by real teachers and our complete language learning program, then get up to 45% off 6-month Premium or Premium Plus with the 6-month Challenge Sale. To get your gifts and language learning resources, click the link in the lesson description below. Download them right now before they expire.
You are aboard an express train where you're about to arrive at your next destination. Suddenly, the train slows and comes to an unexpected stop clearly short of the station. There are no instructions from the conductor. Concerned, you pick up and read the emergency instructions pamphlet aboard the train. According to the pamphlet, what should you do in this situation? According to the pamphlet, what should you do in this situation? The pamphlet says that you should not attempt to exit the train because the train tracks are electrified. Instead, you should stay seated and wait for instructions.
자리에 앉아 안내를 기다리십시오.
You're about to enter a small shop, but there's a handwritten note on the door. What does the message on the note mean? What does the message on the note mean? The note reads, "I'll be right back."
잠시 자리 비웁니다.
There's a national holiday coming up, and you notice that shops have special notices about having different opening hours. From when will the opening hours return to normal? From when will the opening hours return to normal? The notice says that the opening hours will be back to normal on January 7th.
1월 7일
Let's begin. 고마워요. Thank you. I think if you just have to remember just one phrase before you travel to Korea, I think this is the phrase that you should know. 고마워요. There are different phrases meaning thank you. For example, 감사합니다, which is more formal, something like I appreciate. But 고마워요 can be used in general for any like casual or formal situation. For example, 저쪽에 가시면 화장실이 있어요. The toilet is over there. And you can just say 고마워요, thank you. Just for your tip, in Korea, it's mandatory to open a bathroom on the first floor of every building. So if you don't know where you can find a restroom, you just go to any big building around you, and then you'll be able to see a restroom open to public on the first floor of each building. 뭐라고 했어요? What did you say? There are two cases. Let's see the first one. 그런데요, 뭐 했어요? 계세요. 뭐라고 했어요? You didn't understand what the other people say, so you can just simply say 뭐라고 했어요? To ask what did you say? But there's another case. Let's see. 옷이 그게 뭐예요? 별로 예쁘지도 않고. 뭐라고 했어요? This case, someone was talking something bad about you, so you're upset, and you can say, what did you say? 뭐라고 했어요? To, start your fight. 시끄럽다. Loud, noisy. So if your neighbor is making a lot of sounds, you can just go there and boom, 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 hit the door and say, 시끄러. It's too noisy. Or 이 음악은 너무 시끄럽다. This music is so noisy. Or for example, when you're on a bus and people just keep talking, then you can say that. 이 버스는 너무 시끄러워. This bus is so noisy. 사람, person. When you talk about a person, don't use 것 because 것 is for a thing. So you cannot say 이것이 좋아 when you talk about someone you love. Instead, you can say 이 사람이 좋아. 사람 means person. 놓다, to put. So when you just put something, you can just say 놓다. 마우스를 놓다. 아이패드를 놓다. 이거로 할게요. I'd like this. 이걸로 할게요. I like this. Here we have the noun 이거, meaning this. If you want to say that thing, you can say 저거로 할게요. I'd like that. 메뉴판 좀 주실래요? Could we have the menu, please? 메뉴판 좀 주실래요? Could we have the menu, please? You can just simply say menu and say 메뉴 좀 주실래요? To mean the same thing. This is very polite expression, so I recommend you to use that. And if you need something else, you can just replace 메뉴판 with something else. For example, 물 좀 주실래요? Could we have water, please? Or 김치 좀 주실래요? Could we have kimchi, please? 추천해 주시겠어요? Do you have any recommendations? If you're not sure what to have at the restaurant, you can just say 추천해 주시겠어요? Do you have any recommendations? If you're not sure what to order at a Korean restaurant, I would highly recommend you try 불고기, which is kind of seasoned beef with soy sauce and sugar. So it's a little bit salty, but also sweet, but not spicy. 불고기를 추천합니다. I recommend 불고기. 이름이 뭐예요? What's your name? You can simply just give your full name or just first name if someone asks you 이름이 뭐예요? What's your name? For example, if someone asks me 이름이 뭐예요? Then I'll say 이재희입니다, using my full name. So it's kind of sounding rude if you just give your first name only, actually. But if you have the name in English or name in non-Korean words, I think that's okay to also give you only the first name because it's easier to remember. 전화번호가 뭐예요? What's your phone number? That might be a little bit more personal question. We might ask someone's ID of some messenger program like KakaoTalk or Line, but we usually don't ask someone's telephone number. But if you are asked because for official purpose or something like that, then you can just give the, number with the area code. 전화번호가 뭐예요? 02-3552 입니다. So usually Korean numbers have 2 or 3 digits and 4. And you can just make some pause between 02-1234-5678. Make sure you make the pause so that they can get it easily. 한국 음식을 좋아합니까? Do you like Korean food? Yeah, that would be one of the common questions that you hear if you're not Korean. For sure, you have to say, 네, 좋아합니다. Yes, I like it. Even though you don't like some part of, like, you don't like spicy ones. In general, I recommend you to say, 네, 좋아합니다. I like it. But if you want to be real honest, you can say, 별로요. It's also. Or, 아니요, 별로 안 좋아합니다. No, I don't like it. 카드 돼요? Do you take credit card? 카드 돼요? Do you take credit card? Almost all the restaurants, they accept credit cards. So even if you don't have any Korean currency, it's okay to just go to a restaurant and just pay by your credit card. 사진 좀 찍어주실래요? Could you take a picture of me, please? So if you're alone, but if you want to take a picture of you with something beautiful, you can just ask, 사진 좀 찍어주실래요? 한국에 가본 적이 있습니까? Have you been to South Korea? So if you're not living in Seoul, but if someone thought that like you're very interested in Korean culture and language, they will ask you this question. 한국에 가본 적이 있습니까? Have you been to South Korea? If you have, you can say 네, 있습니다. Yes, I have. Or you can say 아니요, 없습니다. No, I haven't. 화장실은 어디에 있습니까? Where's the bathroom? So 화장실 is the word meaning bathroom. So you can actually ask anything with this question pattern. For example, 슈퍼마켓은 어디에 있습니까? Where's the supermarket? And 지하철은 어디에 있습니까? Meaning, where's the subway station? 지도 좀 주실래요? Could I get a map? It's possible to not have any internet connection on your phone, so you need a map. In that case, you can just go to a tourist information center where you can find almost every tourist spot in South Korea and just say, 지도 좀 주실래요? Could I get a map? 예약했어요. I have a reservation. So when you step into a hotel, when you step into a guest house, the staff will ask you like, 예약하셨어요? Did you make a reservation? Then you can say, 예약했어요. I made a reservation. I have a reservation. 물 주세요. Water, please. This is very simple pattern. Like you can just replace 물 with something else. 김치 주세요. 김치, please. 주세요 can be used for any situations. It sounds polite, but still a little bit casual. If you want to be really polite, you can also say something 주시겠어요? 물 주시겠어요? 김치 주시겠어요? That means, could you please give me something? But for most of the cases, you can just remember 주세요 and say something 주세요 to mean something please. 영어 할 줄 아세요? Do you speak English? Simply, you can also say 영어 하세요. It literally means do you do English? But it can mean do you speak English? You know, if someone says something in Korean and you want to ask the person to repeat this question in English, you can just say 영어로 말해주세요. Please say that in English. 괜찮아요. It's okay. So in Korean, it's better to say something indirectly if you want to be polite. So if you want to say no, it's better to say 괜찮아요, which literally means it's okay, but it can be translated as no. So for example, if someone asks you to buy something, you can just say 괜찮아요 to mean no. It's better than saying 아니에요, which means no, literally, because it sounds too direct, and so therefore it sounds a little bit rude. 실례합니다. Excuse me. You have to catch your bus and you have to go through the crowd. Then you have to say 실례합니다, 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 실례합니다. When you want to ask a question, you can also say 실례합니다, then your question. 잘 먹겠습니다. I will eat well. Thank you for the meal. You're at the restaurant, you got a lot of food and you're about to eat. Before you eat, you have to say 잘 먹겠습니다. Even if you're alone, you have to say 잘 먹겠습니다. 잘 먹겠습니다. 잘 먹었습니다. I ate well. Thank you for the meal. 잘 먹었습니다. When you leave a restaurant, you can say 잘 먹었습니다 to the staff to say thank you for the meal. 맛있게 드세요. Bon appetit. Let's say this is the food that I made with seaweed, huge seaweed. 맛있게 드세요. 맛있게 드세요. 잘 먹겠습니다. I'm hungry. 이거 얼마예요? How much is this? So you go to shopping, you found the item you really want to have, and then you can say 이거 얼마예요? 저거 얼마예요? 그거 얼마예요? Then you get the price, but don't accept that. You have to try the discount. Say 깎아주세요 to get your discount.
Hey everyone! Welcome to the monthly review. the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, new study tools, and discover new resources. By the way, you can download all the lessons and bonuses you're about to see right now on the website. So click the link in the description to sign up for your free lifetime account and start speaking in minutes. Okay, today's topic is 4 rules for staying motivated with language learning. You're going to learn 1. The mistake people make with motivation, 2. The 4 rules for motivation, and 3. How you can apply the 4 rules to your language learning. Do you wish you were more motivated about language learning? You watch motivational videos, you feel good for a second, but none of it sticks. This lesson may have some tips to help you. First, listen up. Here are this month's new lessons and resources. First, the 24-hour survival phrases cheat sheet. Traveling and want to learn a bit of the language? Then these survival phrases will help you with the first 24 hours. Second, the ultimate listening video master course. How good are your listening skills? Watch this free video master course to more easily understand native speakers. You can download it right now. Third, the 50 most common verbs all beginners must know. Do you know all of these verbs? If not, this lesson will drill the 50 most common verbs into your head. Just use the free audio slideshow tool inside. And fourth, 20 strategies for learning a language at home. Want to learn a language from the comfort of your own home? This 1-minute lesson gives you all the best tactics for learning languages. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. 4 rules for staying motivated with language learning. Want to know how to really stay motivated? Then listen closely to these 4 rules. These rules might be a little different from the advice that you often hear. Ready? Rule number 1. Action comes first. Are you the type of person who prefers to make things happen? Or are you the type that waits for things to happen to you? One of the best ways to stay motivated with language learning is to not think about motivation. Instead, take action and start learning. The mistake that most people make is that they have this backwards. They think they should wait to feel motivated first and then start learning. But really, it's the other way around. First, you do a language lesson. You learn a basic conversation. Then you do another. And then you start feeling like you can do more and learn more. You see results. So results bring motivation. Thinking about motivation does not bring motivation. Thinking about motivation is like reading an article about how to go outside for a run instead of actually going outside for a run. So action comes first. Rule number 2, always have an outside influence. It's very easy to lose motivation if you're learning language alone. So what do? Here are some examples. You get a study buddy. You hire a tutor. You join a meetup group. You plan a trip to a country where people speak that language. Or you sign up for a proficiency test, like many language learners do. Why do this? Because now you have other people depending on you. You have outside factors that keep you going with the language. For example, if you signed up for a language proficiency test, you know you have a few months to study and you have to take the test on a certain date. Someone is going to pass or fail you. This is a lot more motivating than learning alone. If you're learning with our program, you can get your own teacher with the Premium Plus plan. They'll hold you accountable, send you homework, and give you feedback. If you have a study buddy, well, now you have someone that expects you to show up and improve. And if they're better than you, that should give you extra motivation because you want to be at their level. So get some outside influence. The next rule is rule number 3. Always have a go-to study method. When you arrive at work or the gym, or when you start your homework, you always have that one thing you do first, right? What do? For example, with work, maybe the very first thing you do is check emails. Then you check your tasks for the week. After that, you get started. Well, you need to make the same kind of habits with language learning. You need a go-to study method that you're comfortable with, an easy starting point. And this totally depends on you and your style. Choose something you enjoy. Some people listen to audio lessons. Some people like flashcards. For some people, writing is easy. You can write out song lyrics and translate them. It's up to you. The point is, you should give yourself an easy first step to get you started and get into the flow of learning. If you're learning with our program, you can start with the word of the day email or do a quick 3-minute audio lesson. You can copy out the lesson dialogue. read through the lesson notes. Or, even easier, just review and re-listen to a lesson you took the day before. If you have your own go-to study method, you're already miles ahead of most learners. Leave a comment and tell us about it. And finally, rule number 4, always be working on something. So here, I want you to stop and think about your friends. Do you have a friend that's always up to something? Some project? They're working on a song, or they're making videos. They finish one thing and they start another. Well, if you wonder how they stay motivated, it's because they're always working on something. And this goes back to taking action. If you're not learning or working, you can't stay motivated. So you need to apply this to language learning. How? For example, like I mentioned in part 2 about outside influence, you can make a plan to travel to a country that speaks your target language. Or you can sign up for a language proficiency test. If you do that, you'll have something to look forward to, something to do. If you're traveling, you need to learn travel phrases. If you have a proficiency test coming up, you have to study grammar and do exercises. What else can you do? If you already have a textbook or workbook, make it a goal to finish that book. If you have a learning program, make it a goal to finish it or reach a certain level. If you're using our lessons, make it a goal to finish one learning pathway. Then, when you're done, give yourself something else to do, something to stick with, something to look forward to. So, let's recap. 1. Action comes first. 2. Always have an outside influence. 3. Always have a go-to study method. And 4. Always be working on something. So, thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.